And we're back. Welcome back. Shameless Recap Podcast. We're going to talk about some other bullshit for a couple of minutes. Okay, go.
Right, because of course we are. Okay, yeah.
So I just asked Lena her take on Nope because she's the only one who has seen it between the three of us yet. So I said I've heard good things and I have heard bad things. So I want to know what you think. Obviously, spoiler free.
Yeah, this is spoiler free. Obviously, okay. In my personal opinion, I don't think it was as scary as Get Out or as Us, but you guys know, everybody knows from like watching the trailer, it's about like aliens, right?
Yeah, it's like this black family who were like the first jockeys like on film, right?
The first moving image ever is a jockey on a horse.
Yeah, and that was their great grandfather or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's like a joke in the movie where she says like great, and he's like, there's another great. Yeah, so it wasn't as scary, like visually, I would say, as Get Out or Us, and like aliens kind of don't really do it for me, like like as horror. Mm-hmm. Like to me, it felt like a sci-fi. There was like one plot line that I thought was definitely like more scary, and it was even scarier because it's based in like on a true story. This like specific part of the movie, I do think this movie is like, just like all of his other movies, like super rife with like symbolism and like metaphors and all that stuff, which I thought was really great. But yeah, I mean,
that's the only criticism I've heard of it, is people being like, I believe it was put in the wrong genre, and that's all.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider it like a horror. I would consider it more of like a sci-fi or like a psychological thriller.
Yeah, because I think a lot of like the negative quote unquote feedback is that people have seen Get Out, people have seen Us, and they were like, cool, another Jordan Peele, let's go get scared shitless again.
Yeah.
And for it to be more like kind of like story driven in a way, or kind of like sci-fi, more like supernatural-esque than it being like terrified for your life.
Because in his first two movies, the villains, even though they have like some sort of like supernatural ability or like some sort of like more scientifically advanced ability, they are people. This is like an alien, and like,
so there's a bit more of a, I think that's probably why, because people have more of a disconnect with that, instead of it like more like the human is the villain. It's like, oh, it's just another actual monster.
Yeah. It was very long.
How long was it?
Like over 2 hours. I think it was like 2 hours 10 minutes. But like, it did start, like, I never got bored, but it did start to feel like somewhere around in like the 2/3 area, I was kind of like, okay, where's the plot going? Like we are filling in stuff about the characters and like learning about them and like who they are and why they are what they are, but like we're not getting anywhere with like this like alien entity.
Interesting.
But I did really enjoy it. I thought it was interesting. I thought it's refreshing to see a film that's like totally original and like extremely creative and have just like so many layers to it.
Yeah.
Do you remember when the casting for that movie first came out and Ethan was on, what name would come up when you would Google it? Because I remember when the casting came out, his name came up. Ethan, I always forget to pronounce his last name.
Yeah.
Kutsky. I remember when I looked up that movie for the first time, he was on like the cast list. I don't know if that was real or if that was fake, but I remember being like, oh my god, he's gonna be in that movie. And then like obviously a couple months ago, I looked again and he wasn't there anymore. But that was something I did peep a good, like maybe a year or so ago when the movie was announced.
It was probably just a rumor, maybe, or he was like, well, because there is one character that he could have played, but the movie itself only has like 5 characters.
Yeah, and it's like Keke Palmer's character. I forget
Daniel
the guy.
Kaluuya,
Steven
Yeun, and then there's this guy, this like tech guy named Angel. So like that's the role I'm kind of thinking that Ethan could have played.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's so interesting.
Yeah, and then there's like a Barbie Ferreira cameo role.
I remember seeing her on like the cast list because I was like, what? Because I was like, I saw like Steven Yeun, I saw Keke Palmer, and then I saw Ethan. I was like, okay, big boy getting something like pretty big for like
he wasn't.
him.
Yeah, he wasn't in it. And then there's
obviously.
there's like 2 older characters. There's like there's 2 like older characters, I guess, like older than 50. But
elders.
I am excited to see it because
baby, that's Keke Palmer. She delivered though.
She is Keke keep a fucking bag Palmer. Did you guys see that video?
No, I didn't.
Like I have loved Daniel Kaluuya since Black Mirror.
Skins?
Oh, I never watched Skins, but I wanted to. But
Which Black Mirror was he in?
He was in the second episode of Black Mirror ever. 15 Million Merits.
He was also in Skins. He's great in Skins.
I'm sure he is. I never watched Skins, but I watched him in Black Mirror, like, sort of right when Black Mirror came out.
Because I remember, I don't think I ever watched this episode, but I remember he used to be, like, the thumbnail for Black Mirror a lot of the time.
It was a fantastic episode. It might still be my favorite episode to this day.
Which one was that one?
15 Million Merits. It's the second episode of
That's
season
a great episode!
with the biking.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's a great episode.
And he was the main character in that. So, like, when he did get out, I was like, oh my god, this is great. And then, obviously, he's done Nope now.
He's in Black Panther too, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will also say Nope was, like, really fun. It was kind of funny. Like, there were genuinely hilarious
I mean, it's
parts.
Jordan Peele.
Yeah, of course.
It's yeah.
Well, and he always talks about how, like, comedy and horror intersect in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Because they're both, like, very calculated forms of media. So he did put, like, I mean, even, like, the title of the movie itself, like,
yeah, like his whole
like people are just like, nope, like, nope.
Every interview he like always is just like, yeah, he's like, that's what their reaction would be to seeing aliens. Nope.
Right, it would just be like, nope, not happening. But
And I love Jordan Peele's like creative comedy partner, Keegan-Michael Key. He's in that Mike Myers show, The Pentaverate, on Netflix.
ooh.
It's a Mike Myers show. Mike Myers plays 90% of the cast, but Keegan-Michael Key is in it too. It's if you like Austin Powers, watch it. It's that level of stupid, but also like incredibly entertaining. But yeah, it's on Netflix. It's called The Pentaverate.
Mhm.
It's
I
like
saw
8 episodes.
A preview of it, and I was like, oh, Michael Myers is doing something again.
Yeah. He's keeping busy, you know.
Isn't a new Shrek supposed to come out next year? Or
Oh my
2
god, there's a
years?
Shrek reference in the show.
Of course.
He
there
goes to
is.
like a village that has an annual ogre festival, and he gets like caught up in a crowd, and literally Shrek comes out of nowhere and says, "Get out of my swamp,"
like
and pushes somebody out of the way.
interesting.
Like a dude in a Shrek costume.
Gotcha. Okay. I was like assuming that, but no, that's so fucking funny.
Yeah, Keegan-Michael Key was in he did like a cameo role in Detroiters with Sam Richardson and Tim Robinson. Oh my god, I don't think we talked about Emmy nominations yet.
Oh no, yeah, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that.
I'm so
yeah.
excited. I'm so excited. Well, especially because we also have to talk about the bear, because the bear
yes,
is popping
we
off.
fucking do.
It is blowing
It's
up.
laying.
Dude, seeing him on Seth Meyers was like made my heart so warm because you know shameless fucking people never went on interviews, and I love seeing them in a project that actually gets them recognition and they
Right.
can talk and
Well,
talk
and
about
if they did, it was
art.
never Jeremy, because
Yeah.
he's Jeremy. But it's so interesting to see him in like an interview, in like a video, especially because he's like so.
He's just a dude. He's an actor, but he's just.
I mean,
a dude.
obviously, I knew he was different from Lip, but he's so well spoken. He's so composed. He's funny. He's nice.
Like that clip specifically that was on the Seth Meyers TikTok, like even just the way he was reacting, Seth was like asking him the question and then he goes, "Yes, chef," and goes into his answer like
No, it was
It's so
because
good.
they were talking about Yes Chef. Like Seth was like, do people like when you walk down the street now, do people ever yell like Yes Chef at you? And he was like, Yes Chef.
Oh my god, we say that all the time at my restaurant.
I
now.
say it a lot, like on Twitter and stuff.
Like the servers, because I'm front of house, but I have all my besties work in back of house, of course. So we all have been saying it a lot recently because we say our one kitchen manager is exactly like Carmen. But he gets so mad at us because he's like, you guys aren't cooks, and we're like, yes, chef.
I recommended my parents watch something, and then I came downstairs and they were watching it. Crazy, that shit
Hell
never
yeah.
happens. But my mom, like, they were rightfully, like, stressed out by the first 2 episodes, because the first 2 episodes stress you the
Oh my
fuck
God,
out.
they're so
and I was
stressful.
like, wait until you get to episode 7. And my
Insane.
dad and I had an entire text conversation about how episode 7 is all one shot. And that it's all one take. Had a whole conversation. I was up in my room. I heard them from the living room watch episode 7. And my dad goes, I think that was all one shot. Yes, Dad, we had that conversation.
Yeah. And then even episode 8, like Carmi's monologue, it goes on so long that it's like uncomfortable.
Also hilarious to me that your big sell to me on the one cameo was, oh my god, Joel McHale is a cameo. Molly Ringwald is in the help group.
That is also true, yes. And Abby Elliott plays his sister, and fucking everybody's in there. Ayo Edebiri, like...
But, like, Molly Ringwald does a cameo in one scene.
I know, that shocked me.
Yeah, it was so good. I really, really, really hope there is room for them at the Emmys next year.
Yeah.
I don't know I can't remember what's ending.
I think it'll be helpful that they just got greenlit for a season 2, which will probably be coming out around Emmy time next year. So the buzz will pick back up for it because season 2 will be out.
But I don't hope they make the deadline though. Like, because I want them to be able to compete for season 1.
You don't want them to rush it.
Well, I just want like there to be some promo out by the time Emmy deadlines roll back around. But yeah, let's talk about the Emmys. What?
Yeah.
First of all, how dare you?
Yeah.
Because we discussed your predictions last week, or last episode.
I was right about a lot of them. I was wrong about a lot of them as well. The things that stood out to me: Sarah Goldberg, Barry, snub.
Yeah,
that's
snub.
an
absolute joke, dude. An
Millie
absolute
and
joke.
Sadie getting snubbed for Stranger Things,
like,
too.
I think it's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Stranger Things got 13 Emmy nomination, and not a single one was for the cast. So what I read was that Volume 2 wasn't accessible for the Emmys, obviously, because it came out too late. But Volume 1 was, like, in the timeline to be able to be accepted. And, like, obviously all their set and lighting and costume got nominated. But I agree, if anyone should have gotten nominated, it would have been Sadie. If anyone, I think it would have been her. And, like, I feel like Millie has her popularity enough that they wouldn't have nominated her, because I feel like, you know, just how things are, she probably would win for her category regardless. But I think Sadie, homegirl, killed it.
Well, it's not totally about that, because Succession is like the Emmy darling. Like, like Succession will win. But
look at, I saw that Nicholas Braun.
Fuck that for real. Instead of Tremel Tillman from Severance, like what the hell was that?
Nicholas Braun for what he got for best
for
supporting
playing
actor?
Himself.
Yeah.
Come on.
He's just a doof,
For
and I
having 2
love
lines.
him. Like, that's not us hating on him. It's just that's not an Emmy nominating worthy fucking performance at all.
Greg is not an Emmy award winning character.
No,
okay,
not at all.
It's like it's not about Nicholas Braun. It's about Greg.
No. Yeah,
but like so, and especially because you have Tremel Tillman too from Severance, who had like an amazing performance. But what I will say about Stranger Things, okay, theoretically, Volume 2 was eligible because of the hanging episode rule. Basically, they're like, as long as at least 6 episodes are out before the deadline and the remaining episodes are uploaded to some platform for the voters to watch, like before nominations come out, then the hanging episode rule is
but they didn't.
But they're getting rid of it next year. But what I'm thinking is that Volume 2 was so special effects heavy that they were literally working like up to the minute.
Yeah.
Probably.
No, that's what I
they
think.
Didn't make it
like, I
available
think even
for
Noah
Emmy
said
voters.
that. Like, Noah said that like he had to come in and do like voiceovers like 2 days before the show was like uploaded to like Netflix. He was like, I was still doing stuff for the show before, like, days leading up to the upload.
Yeah. So like technically it was eligible if they had uploaded it to like a secure platform for the voters to watch. But they're getting rid of that rule next year. It would just roll over to the next year.
I also just remembered, I forget if we discussed this last week, and if we did, it probably got deleted. But Evan, I have things to say about everybody's conversation with the queer coding and queer baiting of Will. I'm like, no, if you can't interpret media, then just say that.
Yeah.
Will is, that scene in the van was Will clearly expressing his feelings for Mike in such a way that I was watching that scene, all I could think of was Cass's confession. It's all I could think of.
I know.
Yeah.
It's the subtextualness of just, like, you're giving your all to this one person because you know nothing else and they're the only people who have shown you support. And, like, are you joking? And then we also have that Jonathan.
And him calling Mike the heart.
Dude, fuck that. Mike is not the heart. Dustin is the heart.
Him calling Mike the heart, and the parallel of Cass being like, Dean, you do everything that you do for love.
Dude, I know. I was like, Mike is literally the bitch. He's not the heart. You're right. Dustin is the heart.
Mike is the asshole.
Asshole.
But, like, the parallel of that with him saying, Mike, you're the heart, and Cass saying, like, Dean, everything you do for love. I was watching it, and I was like, Zoe, I'm so sorry. This is the Dean Cass confession.
Oh, yeah. 100%, dude.
Dude, I saw some video about Jonathan, like, looking at them
through the mirror, dude.
Through the mirror because their positions are reversed. So, like, they were basically saying, like, in every Mike and Will scene, it's like Mike is on the left and Will is usually on the right. But in this one, it's reversed. Mike is on the right and Will's on the left. And like the other layer here is that, like, Will is telling a lie, like he's lying to Mike, but Jonathan sees them in the rear view mirror and he sees them in their correct positions, and he sees the truth.
Because I feel like every conversation they have in the car, Jonathan's always peeping up at them. Like every single time it's just like a Will and Mike moment. Jonathan's like, What you guys talk about? I hear you.
Knowing the Duffer Brothers, that is not what it was. It was a happy accident.
100%.
But, like,
they just needed a shot to incorporate him in.
Yeah.
And another point of people saying, like, that they didn't address Mike's or Will's queerness in the show. That conversation with him and his brother in the kitchen of the pizza place. Just say you've never had a conversation with a gay person if you didn't recognize what that conversation is.
Right, like speaking in code. Like, come on.
It was literally Jonathan being like, you don't have to say it. I understand. I support you.
Well,
You're
it's like,
good.
does everything have to be spelled out for you people?
Yeah.
Like,
for straight people, yes.
I hate being, like, a bitch or anything like that, but it's like I don't have a lot of, like, understanding, maybe. Like, I don't see where people are coming from when it comes to, like, certain ships and certain
That's...
things.
I will say, as a diehard Stranger Things fan, I've never been a ship-worthy watcher. I have just watched the show. Like, Jonathan and Nancy, I didn't care.
I'll read the fuck out of a Steady fanfic.
No, me too, but I know that shit's not gonna happen.
I know, like, that's the thing.
It's like I'm realistic with it. Like, there are people out there who are like, he's gonna get brought back as a vampire, and, like, which I think would be cool.
Honestly, do it.
The cast theory is kind of sick.
Yeah, if the Duffers hadn't done it, they should write that in. But write that down. They were like, write that down. But, like, I don't think that was their plan. I don't think they were planning on doing that. I do not think that canonically they would hook up.
No, never ever in my
I think it's a really fun idea, and I think there is evidence there.
I just respect Joe Quinn. I respect Joe Quinn for showing up, flirting with Joe Keery in every take.
He was like,
my whole thing is just they've already given us a gay character. Like, they gave it to us last season, and they want us to live with, like, they want us to enjoy that, and we are. And so I love Steady. Love it. But I've been there. I did Steady back in the It fandom, guys.
Right, but I'm
done.
Like,
I'm over it. There's not enough with them two for me to have anything. Yeah, like, that was real.
That was real. But, like, and Robin and Nancy, like, I think it would be a really great pairing.
I think that's
it would be a really
cute.
Fun pairing. I don't think it's gonna happen.
It's the most unrealistic pairing, and this is my whole thing with the whole Mike and Will thing, is that I'm not over here sitting bouncing in my seat thinking that I'm gonna get Byler for real next season.
Yeah.
I am understanding it from now being an older queer person watching media, because I know I ate Glee up like a bitch when I was like 12. I watched Supernatural and ate that shit up, and obviously what happened? We were disappointed. But
speaking of Glee, Harry Shum is going to be a regular on Grey's Anatomy now.
What? Good for him.
I saw that. Everything Everywhere All at Once was like, I am paying your bills. But
Raccoon Man, I love him. But, like, so with Byler is just, I think they are going about Will in the most respectful way possible so far, and I'm really happy they're doing that instead of, like, doing, like, the whole bomb dropping of Robin in the last season. But I just don't want, like, obviously we're not going into it thinking that we're going to get them next season, but I don't want people not to be so disappointed next season when we don't see them holding hands. Like, we might get more of Will's depth and story about how he's feeling, or we might get Will's villain arc era, and
I hope so. He deserves
we don't even get a gay boy Will. Like, it's just like, people are gonna get so disappointed next season, and people are gonna be so disappointed about Eddie. So, like, I'm going into it just excited to see my characters again.
very truly, I hope, if anything, the Duffer Brothers take from the fandom is to, like, we know Will is gay. That's confirmed. That's not even a conversation anymore. Like, that's for real. If you kill that boy as an act of self-sacrifice to save the world,
it's over.
No, don't you dare magicians this shit. Don't you dare supernatural this shit.
It's over for you. Seriously. It's so over. Especially because his entire thing from the original pitch of the show hinged on the fact that he was gay. And it's just like, I mean, I am firm in my belief that Mike is not gay, or at least is very repressed.
I don't think there's queer coding to him at all.
Oh, yeah. Me and Zoe were having this conversation. She's like, no. Mike loves his friend. Mike has a deep connection with his friend. He is simply an idiot and doesn't know what's going on.
Right. Like, but like, I don't think in Mike's head, at least, it's like romantic. Like,
no. He just loves his best friend.
Yeah. It's like Elle focused, and it's the 80s, and his fucking family voted for Ronald Reagan. Homeboy's, the last thing in his brain is, I'm gay and I'm queer. It's, I have a superhero girlfriend right now, and my friends play Dungeons and Dragons. Like, of course he's not aware of it. Homeboy's in his own dream world.
Not aware, but even if presented with the opportunity, like, I really
think he
don't
would deny
think
it.
He would...
No way, Jose.
Yeah, I just need the Duffer Brothers to not Sarah Gamble this shit up and let the queer character live.
Finn Wolfhard ain't kissing another boy in his contract. You know that for sure.
No, like, not even getting, getting characters together. I need this queer character who has been the subject of torture for this entire series to not end the series sacrificing himself for the greater good. I need that not to be the end.
I want that dragon.
But I do need him to be the reason why all of it ends.
Yeah.
Yes. I need him to be the hero, and I need him to survive it.
The two theories that I am really keen on is Cass Eddie theory is cool. Not going to happen, though. But did you guys see the other theory about, like, the tier rankings of, like, D&D characters? I think we talked about this maybe, like, 2 episodes ago. But, like, the three-headed dragon in the painting, because that is the,
that
like,
is, like, the
big,
most
that's,
powerful.
like, the big bag. I would think that's so cool, but I feel like...
Apparently Vecna's right-hand man is a vampire. Just saying.
Yeah, who gets bitten by a bat and comes back.
Right. Well, that's probably they'll probably name him after, like, the dragon or something.
But
like,
it's not gonna be a dragon, because I was thinking that would just be too much special effects to do a whole ass dragon.
But it's also
but I was like that'd be cool.
If Vecna like created the Upside Down or like did what he did to it, he is the big bad. Like that's it.
Yeah, like obviously, but in terms of just the rankings that they have gone in, like everyone else has been tiered above each other. Yeah, because it's like Demogorgon is below fucking the Mind Flayer, and then Mind Flayer is below Vecna, and then Vecna is below...
It's like this dragon or whatever.
I forget what the dragon's name is. Yes, Amanda.
It's been 25 minutes.
Oh, hey, guys.
Maybe we should talk about Shameless.
Welcome to Shameless.
Welcome
to the Luck We Had.
The show that ended 2 years ago. And turned bad 8 years ago.
I'm gonna put an intro up at the top.
Hey,
an intro up at the top, like, hello, we spent 25 minutes talking about other TV shows.
Skip to this time.
And you know what? Our opinions are right.
Yeah, and we're correct. And we actually are going to become the Emmy committee next season, guys. So be prepared.
I would kill to be on the Academy.
I would to give Jeremy Allen White 14 Emmys.
Oh my god, wait. Right, real quick. Are either of you Nathan Fielder enjoyers?
I enjoy him time to time. I do not follow him actively.
So you haven't seen The Rehearsal?
No, I haven't seen that. I've heard a lot about it. Is it on Netflix?
No, it's on HBO. He has an exclusive deal with HBO.
Sick. I have HBO Max.
Slay.
I just watched Doctor Strange. It was fine.
That was okay. That's not the multiverse movie of the season. Everything Everywhere at Once is the multiverse movie of the season.
That is true.
I haven't seen that yet. I will see it eventually.
Amanda, you would really enjoy that movie. I think
I'm gonna watch it.
It is a movie though that I feel like is multiplied 10 times better if you see it in a theater though. Like the sound system, the big screen, it's like you have to have it. If you watch it at home, it's gonna have a profound effect on you, but it's not gonna be the same.
Yeah, I love the story of just like, you know, the actor that played he was in the Goonies and he was Short Round in Indiana Jones.
Love him.
He quit acting back when he was a kid because he was an Asian child in the 1980s
and
trying
no
to
one
act.
wrote roles for them.
Yeah. And so he like quit acting and he felt like kind of like upset and hurt by it. And then he went to see Crazy Rich Asians and went and looked at the screen and went, well, fuck, I want to do that. I want to be in a movie full of, I want to be in a movie with Michelle Yeoh,
Mhm.
and then he was in a movie with Michelle
he the dad?
Yeoh.
No, he booked Everything Everywhere at Once like 2 weeks like back
Before they
into
start-
he like contacted his agent that used to be like representing him when he was like in his like early 20s, I think it said. And then literally like the moment he was like, all right, I think I'm going to do this, within 2 weeks he had already like went in for the reading for Everything Everywhere all at once. It was immediately hired in.
The directors, they're both named Daniel, were probably like, this is a fucking steal. Wayman
Yeah.
from Workaholics is in that movie.
Yeah.
he's like some background character, but I was just like, I was watching it in theaters and I was like, Waymond? Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, hey.
Michelle Yeoh is like the most badass woman on the planet, and I heard Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, I was
also
about to
whipped
say,
ass in that
yeah,
movie.
she's,
Jamie
like,
Lee Curtis
unrecognizable.
kills it in that movie.
Yeah. And
She's
and
really
good for
good.
Harry Shum.
Who plays the daughter?
I forget her. She
Jobu
looks like
Topaki.
okay. When I
She's
first saw her,
awesome.
I thought she was the girl from those Netflix movies with
Oh, To All the Boys I Loved Before.
Yeah, I thought that was her for a second.
No, but no. But
But
They
also,
just have
yeah.
like such like a very like sweet presence to themselves, and I was like, oh my god, and I was like, wait, never mind, I'm so stupid.
Yeah, good for Harry Shum, who was also in Crazy Rich Asians with Michelle Yeoh. He's in an
Yeah.
after credit sequence, but he's in the movie.
oh my god,
That's so funny.
Rakakuni.
Rakakuni, Hibachi Kang.
Those scenes were so silly.
Shall we get started?
Yes, let's do it. I need to pull up the notes. There they are.
All right. Hello, everybody. If you jumped here from a certain point, 28 minutes ago, hello, welcome. We did rattle about nonsense for a minute, but including praising Jeremy Allen White up and down for the bear and the reaction that everybody's having to the bear. He deserves this. Also, we discussed last week that Noel Fisher had like disappeared for a while. He was in Rome.
He's
He was
back.
just in Rome with
Yeah.
his wife.
He's just adventuring. He has time on his hands.
He's back making millennial posts.
Sorry for Emmy for not getting an Emmy nom for Angeline. Angeline got Emmy noms, just Emmy didn't get an Emmy nom for Angeline.
What did they
Did,
get nominated for?
did they
Best
get it-
writing? Best directing?
Yeah, I was about to say.
No,
for, like, behind
it
the scenes
was
stuff.
it was behind the scenes stuff. Yeah.
Oh, like
think it was makeup.
probably makeup.
Yeah, I was about to say, and probably wardrobe, because that costume department was phenomenal.
Slaying the house boots down. Yeah, Gemstones got nominated for stunts.
He made all those pieces for that fucking show were made by hand for her. Like they made every
Wow.
single. I watched this
And for
behind
her
the
like
scenes.
breastplate and stuff.
Yeah, so like this one design, it was this one designer that did everything, and I was like, homeboy better get some recognition at least.
Wow. Yeah. Ooh, What We Do in the Shadows kind of cleaned up in the nominations.
It did.
Which is
Also,
great.
the new season fucking whips. The
Yeah,
new season
fucking-
is really
Fucking
good.
Kyle Newacek, my boy, my mans, is directing the shit out of these episodes. He's only directed a couple in this season so far, but he has a couple coming down the line.
Harvey Gillen in the newest episode that just came out with him in the,
The night
familiar
market?
fight.
Yeah. Slade. Yeah.
Slade.
Yeah. Like this show it's so good. And I'm happy that we're kind of making a return to like mockumentary a little bit.
Yeah. Zoe pointed out that Nadja had red streaks in her hair, and then Laszlo turned around and he had red streaks in his hair.
Dude,
That's really sweet.
they're the best.
They're also being so subtle about the Laszlo Guillermo thing, but I'm clocking every movement that they make.
Or the Nandor Guillermo thing.
Yep. Oh, did I say Laszlo?
Yeah.
The Nandor Guillermo thing.
Yeah. Slang, giving,
Slang,
baby
slang.
Colin Robinson, like he's everything to me.
Harvey
It's good.
Harvey is doing the heavy lifting of this season
Oh,
in
yeah.
like the best way.
Well,
the best way.
He low-key does like most seasons. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's
How
all
many
right.
seasons is it on now? 3?
They're on
4?
the 4th, but there's only
Yeah.
10 episodes a season, and they're all like 20 minutes or something.
Gotcha.
It's good
Nadja,
though,
my queen. Okay. This is a shameless recap podcast.
right? We should just start a separate podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at this point, just us talking. That's what we should do our Patreon.
My name's Amanda. I'm one of your hosts.
My name's Evan. I'm one of your other hosts.
I'm Lena. I'm your other host.
And look, it's all three of us sitting
We're
down
back,
together.
guys.
Yay!
Sorry,
We're doing it.
I had a rough week 2 weeks ago when you guys recorded. I was moving. I had COVID. I could not be seen. But I'm back. And I moved into my new apartment.
Love it. And we're back now with season 5, episode 3, The Two Lisas, an epic, epic episode.
Such a good episode.
I know. I'm like, this is getting good.
I feel
let's go.
These are one of the episodes that I've like rewatched so many goddamn times.
I honestly didn't know that this was the episode that it was until I was halfway into it and I clocked it. I was like, oh no. And I knew I knew how it ended. I was like, oh fuck, it's this one. Yeah. But it's episode 503, The Two Lisas, which aired on January 25th, 2015. 7 years ago? 7 years ago.
God.
Jesus
7.5 years ago. Written by Sheila Callahan. This is her 5th of 12 episodes that she writes. She did 305, Slay, 311, Slay, 403, 305, Sins of My Caretaker, 311, Order Room Service, 503, Like Father, Like Daughter, 408, Hope Spring Paternal. She only does bangers. She only does bangers.
Well, I remember, like, back when these episodes were airing and everyone would be like, Miss Galovich.
Yeah.
Like, because she was. Like,
she was.
Especially her work in season 5, you're about to.
Yeah, she does this one and 510 Southside Rules. And then she does 606 NSFW, 611 Sleep No More, 704 I Am a Storm, 709 Ouroboros, which I think is a Mickey episode.
It's the end of it is when the cop tells Ian that Mickey broke out of prison.
Right. 805 The Miseducation of Liam Fergus Burkhart Gallagher, 810 Church of Gay Jesus. She exited in season 8, episode 10 was her last.
She was
one.
like, I'm fucking out of here. Goodbye.
She said, Galovich is out, I'm out.
And then this one was directed by Peter Segal. This is his second of 3 shameless episodes that he directs. He did 404 Strangers on a Train. Hot, sexy, finger banging on a train.
That episode's so silly. I told you guys how I saw that TMI. I saw it on, like, that clip on Pornhub once. Like, it was just like, shameless, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, guys, get a Netflix subscription.
Right?
He also did this one in 607 Pimp's Paradise.
Also a very silly episode.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big-time comedy director. He did Tommy Boy, Anger Management, 50 First Dates, The Longest Yard. Like, he's big comedy movies.
Yeah.
He also is directing the new Stephen Amell wrestling show, Heels.
Oh, quick sidebar. What happened to that Stephen Amell show about, like, uploading your consciousness into a computer after you die or something?
Oh,
did it get
that's
canceled?
Upload. It's not Stephen Amell. It's called Upload. It's another generic white man, much younger.
Classic.
It did get a second season though. The second season just came out.
Okay.
Oh, the kid from Victorious, the white boy from Victorious. No, not Victorious. The white boy from True Jackson VP.
Oh
yeah,
him.
Matt Shively?
Whatever. Generic white handsome man.
I did not know that was him. I could have sworn that was Stephen Amell.
Nope. Stephen Amell's like 20 years older than him.
Well, but like he's not old.
Mid-40s.
Upload TV. It's Robbie Amell. It's his brother.
Wait, it's not the kid from True Jackson?
No, that's Matt Shively. He was in The Real O'Neills.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's Robbie Amell. It's his brother. Robbie Amell's 34. Oh, wait, are they related?
I mean,
or they just have the
sounds
same
about right.
Right, but he's not listed
siblings.
as a sibling. But I think... Oh my god, they're cousins.
That's so funny.
That is hilarious. Okay, cool.
Anywho. The
So,
first season was good. I haven't watched the second season. The synopsis of this episode. Oh, I'm sorry. I can narrate this one. Do we want to force Evan to narrate this one? Do we?
I think it would be kind of fun if Evan did it, but whatever you want to do.
I could
do the synopsis.
Yeah, I'll do the synopsis in the previously on. The synopsis: Frank enlists Carl to scare off the lesbians who are buying up the neighborhood. Meanwhile, Ian goes on a crazed cleaning spree of the Milkovich house. Fiona agrees to go to a concert with Davis, and Debbie throws a wild party. The previously on is done by Lip brushing his teeth, giving the bear energy. The previously on. V is done breastfeeding, and Kev is pissed about it. 2 lesbians are trying to buy Sheila's house, and Frank is not happy about it. Ian is spiraling. Lip has a construction job. Kenyatta still hits Mandy, and she's still down to fuck Lip still. Let me say still again. Fiona has a flirty thing going on with the hot guy in the band at the diner. Maddie broke up with Debbie because she is a literal child. And Frank is brewing the strongest beer ever made, the Milk of the Gods.
Whenever I just hear like people making their own beer, it always reminds me of Warm Piss from How I Met Your Mother. I forget that one actor. He's from he was The Last Man on Earth. What's that guy's actor's name?
Will Forte.
Will Forte. He plays he plays a character
Flight
that
of the
works
Conchords.
with Barney. Oh,
yeah,
good show.
he just did a cameo role in like Flight of the Conchords.
He just played like this guy who worked with Neil Patrick Harris's character Barney, and he was like, "Guys, try my homemade beer, Warm Piss," and they were like, "Warm piss."
It's giving a new start from
New Directions. I always wondered how that one slipped past the Fox team.
Like
new directions. New directions.
Yeah,
I
just got it.
No, that's why I just took. That's why I was
like, I got the nude part, but then I was like nude.
New directions.
Like, yeah.
Oh, also, I'm going to a Supernatural convention, and then the next weekend, I'm going to a Shadowhunters convention.
I'm so excited for you. Do you have any photo ops for this time around?
For
Supernatural.
The Supernatural one, I have 2 Timothy Amundsen ones, and
Hell
then
yeah.
I bought one that was both deaths, but Lisa Berry dropped out, so I have to exchange it, and I might try to get Death and someone else, or I might try to get Kim and Brianna.
Do Kim and
or
Brianna,
I might
please.
get Tim and Rob. I don't know.
Oh my god,
I like
Cameron's
Tim.
new
He was
movie
fun
is
to
out.
take a photo with.
Huh?
Cameron's new movie is out, Paradise Highway.
I
you guys
forgot
hear
Is
he
it
was doing
out? I
something.
just saw them promoting it the other
It just
day.
came out today. I was scrolling
shit.
Instagram a second ago.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Wow. All right.
All right.
Okay.
Let's get into it. We open up on a police raiding at the Rub and Tug, arresting all the girls and Johns. Mickey walks in looking so fine.
Looking so
oh
fine.
My God.
Looking so fine. This purple vest. I think about this purple vest all the time. He looks so good.
The cops ask if he knows the girls, and he says nope, he's never seen them in his entire life. He goes inside and bitches with V, who's pumping her breast milk so that Kev never lets Svetlana breastfeed the babies ever again. She says no offense to Mickey about it, like he could give a fucking shit. He doesn't even like look a second glance at her.
Yeah.
Frank comes in with his case of beer, and I gotta say, I love the son-in-law dynamic he develops with Mickey when they are both in the alibi bitching about stuff. They just sit on their stools.
The chemistry between them this season is it's so good. It's so father-in-law, son-in-law. It's so stupid, and I love it a lot.
Frank says that the gentrification is why the raids are ramping up. He pours his beer into shot glasses and gives some to V and Mickey and the other bar patrons. Mickey downs his and he loves it, making a little grabby hands at V's cup too, because he does a little ooh, and he's pointing at it or whatever.
he's like, yeah, this is hitting.
Well, he does a little bit of the shot and he it nods while he swallows it, and then V
I can't believe it's so strong you have to take it as a
It
shot.
sounds so gross. It just makes me think of Everclear. A guy who drinks a few sips of it passes the fuck out, so Mickey drags him to the sober chair, because doesn't V's pull him over to the sober chair?
He's a big guy too.
Mm-hmm. In the background, while Frank gets an order for 6 cases from an army vet, Mickey working at the alibi. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So I love V, the guy passes out and V just turns to Mickey. She's like, put him in the sober chair. And he's like, yep, and just gets up and does it. And I love Mickey working in the alibi.
Well, he's just a regular there. He's I hang out here. I know what happens.
He's one of the flies now. He's just hanging out with everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over to Fiona working at Patsy's. We get an update on her coworker who's finally getting to visit her kid, and the hot woman who lives Fiona $100 tips is back. What's her friend's name?
The waitress?
Jackie.
Yeah.
Jackie. And then Angela is the big tipper.
Hot lady. Honestly, I'm so mad that she gets such good pie and then never fucking eats it.
She's just there to scope her out, though.
Why couldn't we have them fuck, I ask you, Amanda?
Why couldn't we have them fuck? Why couldn't we have them fuck?
Her and Nessa. You'll meet Nessa later, but
yeah.
Woof, that was a trip.
That was fun, but they still didn't give us enough with that.
Yeah.
Fiona comes over and the woman asks Fiona out to dinner, and Fiona only says no because of her last messy relationship, not because a woman asked.
Truly, the way she reacts, she's like, that's real nice, but I just got out of a messy thing. Not sorry, I'm not into women.
Yeah.
That thought never crosses her mind.
She just said, no, I don't want to go to dinner.
Right, sorry, I can't. But then she, jumps into all these relationships with men, and it's the lesbian Fiona did kind of, make sense if she had stuck
Who was
around.
that one girl from season 2?
Oh,
the hot mom,
the MILF,
yeah,
whatever her name is. But it's just like, it's because Fiona doesn't care about her relationships with men as much as she does with women, which is why she's more cautious.
I feel like she's too busy about everything else. Like, the last thing she needs to do is question her sexuality right now.
Well, but she's also like, men are easy, like, you can just kind of like, men are men, like, whatever. But like with women, she's like, I'm scared to like commit because I feel like she's scared she would like get hurt. Like, I feel like the seeds for lesbian Fiona were very much more there. But they were, like, to be fair, they were also there for Debbie. Like, compulsory heterosexuality and shit like that. Even if that wasn't their original plan with her.
It's
like,
still
they were
sought out to be that way.
Yeah.
Sorry, the woman, like, Fiona says no. And then the woman's like, I'll just ask again. I'm persistent. Like, yes, you will. Yes, you will. So sexy of you.
But also, like, knowing what we know about her, it's like, there is probably a reason why she was trying to get her out to dinner. A more ulterior motive.
Maybe she wanted to fuck her and then do the other thing.
And then make that introduction. Yeah. Maybe she had a bet going. She was like, I can fuck your bitch. What if I can
get her to fuck me?
She was like, actually, I might.
I bet Jimmy was like, yeah, I bet she would. She's a whore. Like,
oh my god.
Okay.
All right. Cut to Carl rolling down the street in his wheelchair as he comes across a guy's house who's being foreclosed on. We saw him steal that wheelchair in the last episode, right?
Yeah,
First
it sticks around for another episode.
He comes home and we find out that he went to a party that Debbie wasn't invited to, and he was giving girls oral to be able to stay, and he has hickeys. Like, that, he's 12 years old. That's a baby.
Yeah. Like, she's like, why did you get invited and I don't? He's like, I give them oral. Like, what?
Like, that is assault. Yeah. Any way you look at it. Any way you look at it,
fucking,
I think.
What is it, mid-90s? Fucking type beat.
Yeah, right? Well, because those girls are probably, like, 14 or 15, which, like, it's whatever, but it's, like, multiple of them at a party in order to let him stay there.
And a boy who's in a wheelchair.
I know he wants to because he's depraved, but, like...
Yeah.
Still, it's like the way you look at it, they're both, like... weirdo.
Because if you're watching the show, you're like hee hee hoo hoo, but if you're psychos like us and we're analyzing it, then you have to go, oh, wait a second, that's
when you treat them like real people.
Yeah. It's also the oral thing. If he said like I finger bang the girls, that would make more sense to me.
Yeah.
Than oral
that
from
sounds
a 12-year-old.
More like
oral
kid,
takes
kind
effort.
Of like
yeah. Like that is like
That's
all I'm gonna say about that.
I was gonna make another comment, but I was like, I don't want to think about this.
It's weird.
Yeah. Debbie is so bitter about it and decides to throw her own party tonight instead. Mickey, seriously, Lynn Paolo a fucking plus on this purple shirt. Amanda loves this purple shirt.
I love this purple. The purple and black, like the purple and black, like cut off flannel shirt. It's sexy. Noel looks sexy in this episode. He looks young and sexy.
So Mickey comes home to Ian on the front porch, just throwing a bunch of shit into the front lawn, and he comes inside and see that Ian has cleaned out the whole house, and he's mad because Ian's just throwing away all of his shit. There's like a bunch of fans and like random ass shit that he's throwing out. So honestly, Mickey, be thankful.
It is seriously like there is just a bunch of junk in there. Like I know this is supposed to be an indication of like Ian's manic episode because he does go overboard with it later, but it's like Mickey that house was like full of shit.
No, that was a hoarder house. It was
like it makes
scary,
sense that he was doing that.
Like he literally says to Mickey, you got a problem with your boyfriend cleaning a layer of scum from the tub that your wife watches your child in? And then he says something in Russian.
And Mickey's like, the fuck are you saying?
Dude, he's pissed. It's funny because it's like they're ganging up against him.
Yeah. I was like, what do you mean Svetlana's teaching you Russian?
Mickey tells Ian that the rub and tug is now closed for good, and Ian is concerned about the girls and said Mickey should bail them out. But Mickey, 1, doesn't give a shit, and 2, does not have the money because like they probably arrested like 20 damn girls.
Yeah, plus they're all illegal immigrants, so it's like there's nothing he can do anyway. They probably all got deported already.
Yeah. Ian goes, what are we going to do for money? And Mickey's like, I don't know. I'd sell Svetlana's ass if she already wasn't renting out her guest room. And then Ian goes, you mean guest womb? And Mickey like fake laughs and then just rolls his eyes.
It's like fucking comic gold. He's like, huh? Did you like that? Did you like that one?
Absolutely not. Did you just say that? No.
Are you entertained?
Yeah. And, like, yeah, like you were saying, like, the cleaning, at the beginning, the cleaning makes sense. And, like, I know Ian is having a mental health crisis, but, like, they're so married in this season, and it makes soft, it's like, what could have been? Like,
doesn't some character literally make the comment that they're, like, playing house at some point?
I think so,
Some character's like, oh, are you still playing? I think someone asked him, like, are you still playing house with Mickey? And he's like,
yeah, I vaguely remember that.
But then, sadness enters the building.
Mandy comes home yelling at Kenyatta, saying that she's not moving to Indiana, but he's got a good job, so they're leaving. And isn't it, like, pumping fucking porta potties is the job?
Yeah.
And she's like, pumping porta potties? He's like, it pays well. Mickey says that shithead better not drag you off to Fucksville, USA. And Mandy said there's nothing really here for her. Ian is quite concerned and says that if she leaves with Kenyatta, he will kill her, but she's not having it. Like, she's so over it and, like, won't hear anything. He says that they have to stop her, and Mickey's all for it. He gets the gun.
He's like, get the gun, I'll get the saw. We can bury that fucker in pieces out by the landfill. Like, Mickey is down to do it. He also is not, like, he's not gonna step in because he knows that Mandy won't listen to him. But he's like, but I will kill that man for her. I'll do that.
I remember the framing on this was really brilliant, because Mickey sits down at the kitchen table or something, and his back is to Ian. But during this whole exchange, during the whole, like, hey, you get the gun, I'll get the saw, we stay on Ian. We never see Mickey or Mickey's reaction, anything, and you can see Ian, like, descend into, like,
and something's clicking, like, into like madness.
Yeah, because it's not anywhere violent, because he doesn't take it down that road, but it's like you can see the wheels, like, turning in his head, and I think you can see him stewing too and, like, tensing up. So I think the framing on that was, like, pretty brilliant.
Yeah. It's also Cam and Noel are really skilled at, like, telegraphing to us what they're thinking without, like, it having to be in words in the script. Like,
yeah, they're good scene partners. They both know when to give and when to perform, like, when to be the showstopper, you know.
Over to Sheila's house, she's trying to give Frank food and his meds, but he's too fixated on his beer, which is brewing way too damn slow. She's trying to sell him on places they can travel, but he's not listening to her. He's too hyper-focused. She says that they need to talk because the lesbians want an answer, and that she has an eye on her RV she wants because the lesbian's gonna give her some money. Frank says no sale. That's the good-looking gays with money coming into the neighborhood is a sign of the beginning of the end. And Sheila says that fuck it, maybe she'll go on her own then, which is good for her. She doesn't need Frank. He's gonna tie her down regardless.
But Frank's like, I need a place to live.
Yep, he's like, actually.
He's like, but I love you.
It's fully one of those moments of, like, her trying to have a conversation with him and him being, like, just Frank over here and not engaging. You know, like, throw a comment, but he's just franking. He's doing his Frank thing over here.
Right.
And she throws away the comment, like, well, maybe I'll just go on my own. And he doesn't seem to hear that. And he just that will register with him later.
Right. It's, like, super delayed. And then he's like, wait a minute.
He's like, wait. Sheila goes upstairs and sees Debbie coming in looking for Frank. She wants to know if he has any beer for her party tonight. Sheila loves Debbie's new look, and Debbie asks her for beer for the party, so Sheila just hands her over the case of beer to Debbie, a, 12-year-old child.
And not just beer, the Frank beer.
She goes, here, Frank won't mind it.
Sheila was loose with alcohol, though. Remember, literally in the first episode, when Lip is over at Karen's, like, when he's studying with Karen, she offers him a couple different drinks, and then she starts offering him, like, alcohol. Well, she's like, do you want like a beer? And then she's like, I can make you a mojito. Like, she starts offering him all these cocktails that she can make him. Like, she's loose with the booze.
She's always been the, like, well, I'd rather you do it in the house kind of mom.
I'd rather you do it in a safe space.
But, like, a grown man took one sip of that beer and hit the floor.
She doesn't know that. She thinks it's just normal beer.
But once Debbie gets the beer, back to Fiona working, doing a little NA homework at the counter when Davis comes in to flirt a little more. She claims to be a reformed fuck-up, and he asks her to meet her at the jazz concert, 9 p.m., show up dressed like you have something to lose. Like, what up? I don't like that.
What an asshole, seriously. And his name's Davis. That's my brother's
Davis.
name. My brother's not an asshole, but, like, Jesus.
Your older or younger brother?
My older.
Debbie hands out flyers for her party at the pool. Meanwhile, Carl is flirting with Holly and saying that she can get back at Debbie for throwing a party without her by fucking him.
Like, never let it be said that he misses an opportunity to shoot his shot.
Mm-mm.
He shoots his shot. He misses a lot of the time.
To be fair, though, like, that would work.
Yeah.
Like, that would work. Debbie is obsessed with Holly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She blows him off and he's confused because he thought being in a wheelchair was his ticket in. Over to the Ball's house, Kevin V's mom are bonding over the babies smiling at them when they poop. Ew. V comes home and gives a boob milk progress report to Kev, and he's kind of annoyed about it. Like, back off, dude. She's not a milk factory. Like, I've seen, like, I get mommies on my TikTok all the time talking about their breastfeeding, and I've learned he was demanding way too much from her.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, he was like, what do you mean only 5 ounces? Are you sure you're doing it right? And she's like, excuse me?
Yeah. She tells him that the rub and tug is shut down for good. She asks her mom how many moms they know that are still breastfeeding, and she can't, and says maybe she can turn the rub and tug into a breast milking pumping station because the cops can't shut that down. And that is so genius.
Isn't it
especially
also,
because she was like, we can sell it to the other hood moms who like can't really like feed their kids.
Well, or because they're like too strung out on drugs, like their milk's not safe. Well, isn't that whole thing with breastfeeding, like, if you just like don't stop pumping, you can breastfeed like for a long time.
Yeah, like you can
forever.
breastfeed up to like, I think like 4 or 5 years. Like if you're still actively doing it, as long as like you don't wean your child off of it, like you can still do it. And like there are plenty of like moms I see on TikTok who do that for like local like NICUs and stuff like that they'll just like pump forever and donate that shit.
Yeah, and this is the shameless version of that. Like, this is the hood version of that. She's
Hell
like,
yeah.
no, actually, let's be a pumping station and I'll sell that milk to people who want to use real milk instead of formula. Like, she's a fucking genius. She's a girl boss. I love that.
When like V is asking her mom for like the other girls in the neighborhood, and she just like names off like the most stereotypical like names possible.
Yeah, Sheila Callahan was fucked up for that.
Yeah,
like that
it was
list
like
of names.
Sharquisha and like a couple like other just like very hard stereotypical names, and I was like, come on, guys.
Yeah, like Sheila Callahan, you white woman, take a good look at yourself of what you wrote down right there.
Yeah.
Take a second look, maybe.
Cut over to Carl rolling down the street, and then Frank just appears out of nowhere and starts like walking up next to Carl, and we have like a really good like Frank Carl walk and talk scheme. Frank wants Carl to run the lesbians out of town and says that he can't do it because he's too busy with the brewery. We cut from that to we join Maddie at work. Debbie invites him to her party, saying there will be people his age there. Not. He compliments her new hair, and he agrees to come to the party.
I hate them both. I hate them both so much.
He was eating that shit up. He shouldn't have. He just turned her away, and he was feeding into her little scheme.
Like, Maddie, the appropriate thing to do in this moment would be like, thank you for inviting me. I don't think that, not for me. Get home safe. Like, no, Maddie, shut it down.
And,
why
like,
are you flirting?
Him complimenting her was the last thing he needed to do.
Yeah. Shut it down, Maddie.
Oh, your hair looks nice. She cut it for you.
He's just so
Shut
weird. He's so weird.
Can you imagine flirting with a 13-year-old right now?
Did we, like, look up what he was in before? Did we find that out? Because I was like, he was just, like, nerdy, lanky guy in, like, some other thing once.
Please hold. He was in one episode of How to Get Away with Murder in...
Oh, I remember that. I remember that. Maybe he just looks like some guy. He kind of looks like Jack Quaid a little bit, to me, personally.
He does kind of look like Jack Quaid, yeah.
I kind of see it, but I know Jack Quaid.
He's Jack Quaid, but with, like, flatter hair.
Speaking of Jack Quaid...
he's popping off recently.
Yeah.
Did you see fucking, I forget her name, I think Amanda something, the girl who played Rue, she made like a video for him at San Diego Comic-Con and was like, hey Jack, I forgive you for stabbing me in the chest, and I forgive you. And he's like, finally, people spit on me on the streets for years because of this.
Did you see that he was walking around Comic-Con in the Scream costume, in the Ghostface costume?
No, I didn't.
Comic-Con like popped off this year.
I didn't hear that much about it, surprisingly, but I'm glad that it did. Because I
Yeah.
usually only watched it for Supernatural every fucking year. And Stranger Things didn't have a panel, which I thought was kind of lame.
They're just busy. They're doing like international press, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Even then, it's like, do they really need to get more press? No, Stranger Things has been having like their own conventions, low-key.
Yeah,
they do, but they're kind of
have
like
that shitty one in
shitty.
Jersey. Well, Creation Entertainment runs them, so they're pieces of shit.
Yeah, no, they're not good. And like they're like I've been to 2 Supernatural conventions, and because there's more of there's more within within Supernatural that you can sell more than one type of merchandise, and like you can have more eras and like different types of things. But I feel like Stranger Things, like they had like no merch booths. It was or like no creators or any like.
Well, there's like Stranger Things logo, and then there's like season 3 summer stuff, and that's
yeah. I saw the like videos and photos of the convention floor.
It
was shit.
It was such a joke.
All Creation Entertainment conventions are shit. Like the ADA accessibility of all Supernatural conventions, I don't know how these venues aren't getting shut down.
Yeah,
it's fucking ridiculous.
Every venue I went to was like not accessible for even like an able-bodied person at that fucking point because of just how they shove the vendors
in the same hallway right outside the convention room, going from there to like where the photo ops are. They shove the vendors in the hallway and they make the hallway so small,
so they flood, so there's like an over amount of people. But no, the Stranger Things con are just like too much of a joke to me, and like as much as I love that show, I don't think there's enough commitment to the other people working there to give it a good environment, unlike unlike Supernatural that have been going on for 5,000 years, that you have continuous same vendors coming every year and making new things, and like certain like, because like you could buy like swords and merch and like cool like Wiccan stuff, and you could buy like this and that, and then Stranger Things convention was just like some stickers and then Stranger Things merch. Like there's nothing. Sorry, we got so off-railed.
Any hoozles. Frank's at the scrapyard.
Yeah, where am I? Frank's at the scrapyard. He gets caught by a guy. Sorry, I'm having...
The guy who owns the place. He gets caught by the guy who owns the place.
Frank's at a scrapyard trying to steal like a big tank for his brewery, and gets caught by the guy running the scrapyard, and he ends up bartering Sammy to him in exchange for the brewing pot, because he's like, I don't need money, I need a nice woman. He's like, oh, I got the perfect girl for you.
Yeah. But like what this man wants is to fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like she's not like nice.
Yeah. He sold her as a fuck, not a nice girl to go out to dinner.
Yeah, like this guy's wife just died. He's like, I need to fuck. I don't need a girlfriend. I don't want a commitment. I want to fuck right now. And Frank's like, do I have the woman for you?
We get a menacing insert of Carl putting up wanted posters and staring down some lesbians going into their home. In the Gallagher kitchen, Fiona is serving up dinner, and Lip comes down only in a towel, his hands finally recovering from his construction site. Those blisters looked so bad, dude.
Yeah, it was
so bad.
Well, because he didn't even have gloves for the lifting.
Yeah.
I think
also,
the
like,
other
he sits down to dinner in a towel. Just a towel.
Put some pants on.
It was for the girls. It was for the girls and the gays.
Yeah.
Thank you. We all said thank you.
Thank you!
We all said yes, chef.
Yes, chef! Yes, chef!
Yes, chef.
Hey, Jeremy. What you doing? What you up to?
Oh, yes, chef. Oh.
Carl comes home and starts a conversation about lesbians coming into the neighborhood, and that is it a good or a bad thing, and Fiona says she only sees the upside, and he asks Lips for help, and Lip agrees. Debbie comes down to set up for her party, which is the first Fiona has ever heard of it. Fiona puts up a little bit of a fight about it, saying that Debbie needs a chaperone, but when Debbie pushes back even a little bit, Fiona backs down, which she was like, okay, you do you, I trust you, and I was like, that's really nice of you, Fiona.
Yeah, well,
should you?
I feel like Fiona's parenting style a lot of the time, though, is like, as long as it doesn't affect, like, our family, like, our money and our well-being, you're gonna find out the consequences on your own.
Yeah.
And when it happens, I'm not gonna help you.
And, like, from the way the show has always been, like, brought to us, like, we've always had Lip and Debbie a bit more sheltered for a while because of, like, obviously the age difference between...
Carl and Debbie.
Yeah. Oh, who did I say?
Lip.
Oh, yeah. So with Carl and Debbie, they were always more sheltered in like the earlier seasons because they were so young. Versus you had Lip and Ian, where you could like make them be a bit more crazy. But I feel like this is like the first time like we actually are getting to see like the younger kids be more of like a sporadic, spontaneous with like their friends in a way. Because normally it's just them pulling bullshit.
Yeah.
Frank goes to visit Sammy, and she seems a little bit prickly towards him. She complains about work, which is so true of her. Seasonal retail is hell. She says that she doesn't have anyone to talk to, and that she starts to break down about being so alone. And Frank shifts it into talking up his friend like it's a good romantic prospect and not a transaction he set up, because he's like dishing it out to her, being like, his wife just passed, he just needs a woman to settle down with. And she's like, I need to take it slow. And he's like, perfect. Over to, I think, the first real Gallagher brother scene of the season. Lip and Carl are trying to tear down a street sign when Ian walks by. It's like they tied like a chain around like the pole, and it's like tied to the back of Carl's like remote scooter or whatever.
I think it is the first time all season that like Ian, Lip, and Carl are in a scene interacting with each other. Like,
and it's just
the first
them.
like brother scene, yeah.
Dude, best dynamic ever.
Yeah. Only made better when they aged up Liam. Like, I love the brother energy.
Yeah.
Especially Carl and Liam when they're like still like the
fun.
youngest boys. He tells Lip that Mandy is moving, and they both agree that it's a shitty fucking idea. She's a great girl. She can get any guy she wants, as Lip says to Ian, and he goes, tell her that, okay? Because she doesn't believe that for herself.
And, like, not only do I very much appreciate Lip's immediate reaction is like, no, he's gonna kill her. I am worried for her. That man's gonna kill her. I would also like to state for the record, Lip's gender in this scene, chef's kiss.
He gives.
Yummy.
He gives every time. He gives and he slays. I gotta tell you guys, I watched Little Miss Sunshine the other day.
Good
Paul Dano girlies.
Paul Dano?
I get it. I get it now. That guy is gender as fuck.
Yeah, Zoe watched everything he was ever in. She has the DVD for every movie he has ever been in.
She like went down his IMDb list and just watched everything. I did that with Josh Hutcherson when I was like 13.
Yeah, except for Okja, because the DVD doesn't exist. She has all of his DVDs, even though apparently
I watched
because it's on Netflix.
I watched
right?
The Kids Are Not Alright when I shouldn't have.
apparently half the movies are ass. Like, apparently they're awful.
Oh, for sure. He's like artsy, whatever.
Have you guys seen The Kids Are Not Alright?
No.
It has Mark Ruffalo in it. It has Josh Hutcherson. It has a couple other people in it, but it's a really good movie. I recommend
Fall
it.
Out Boy wrote a song about it.
There's a Paul Dano movie called Ruby Sparks that's a male manipulator movie he wrote with his wife. It's really good.
Did you guys watch
really,
Swiss
good.
Army Man?
Yeah.
I didn't, Zoe did.
It was weird. I loved it. It was bizarre.
I want to watch it. I haven't seen it yet.
It's
apparently
bizarre.
it's very
I loved
gay.
It.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is.
Because
It
it's like
is gay.
he basically has like cabin fever with a dead body.
Well, he's like stranded on a desert island.
Yeah.
The descriptor of it is the first fart makes you laugh, the last fart makes you cry.
No, that's for real. That
No,
is so
so
for
true.
real. I've seen the movie. It's for real.
We go to Debbie's backyard party where she's trying so hard, or poisoning her friends, and it's such a lame party. Like, first of all, who are all these neighborhood kids? We have never seen them ever before.
Yeah. And she's giving them all Frank beer, so, like, they're going to be poisoned. They're going to die.
I know, they're just, like, pouring it into red Solo cups.
Well, I'm pretty sure she tells them, she sees them, like, drinking, and she's like, whoa, 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 like, no. And they're like, what? And she's like, it's, like, crazy strong. Like, fucking cut back.
Meanwhile, Fiona, looking so hot, comes into the jazz concert, and right away some other woman is kissing up on Davis. And guess what? It's his live-in girlfriend.
His live-in girlfriend.
Unbelievable.
And so Fiona pulling...
Like, well, and he, like, didn't know she'd be there. He's like, what do you mean you're in town? I thought you were out of town. She's like, no, silly. I came by to see you. I'm back in town.
Yeah, or like she was supposed to be at work or something.
Yeah, she was like, oh yeah, I left work early. And he was like, how'd you know I was here? And she was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, checked in on Facebook or tweeted we were here. And then he turned to his butt. It was like, not Gus, the other guy.
It was the other band guy, and he was like, are you fucking serious?
He was like, my bad.
But it's like, okay, like, respect for those friends not helping their boy cheat.
Yeah, like, they're not intentionally, like, being, like, sly or whatever.
Right.
But he tries to slip it to be like, oh, who's this hot woman standing next to me? She's Gus's friend.
She's Gus's friend from the diner. And when Fiona finds out that it's a live-in situation, she, like, starts, like, leaning on Gus. And then all of a sudden, they are macking out. And it's a deep kiss.
Yeah.
What I don't understand is why that girl believed that. Because if I was her, I would be like, so one of your best friends, your bandmate, who I presumably see often, has a girlfriend that I do not know about that is on the precipice of moving in with him.
Yeah, from a diner where you regularly...
Like, why have I not met this woman before? You know? Or even heard about her. You never talked about her.
But, like, you can tell that the girlfriend's still, like, obviously she's not buying it 100% because she's, like, still, like, locked arm with Davis or whatever the fuck his name is.
She's like, okay. Like, she's like, I'll choose to buy this.
Mm-hmm. Davis, Gus, and the girlfriend all walk away, and then Fiona starts drinking. Over at Sheila's house, the lesbians are doing a walkthrough, and Frank comes in with a big brewing contraption on his back. He's just, like, hoisted over with rope. Sheila puts her foot down and says that she is her own woman, and even though that she wants him to come with her, she will leave without him, and if she has to. Which is, like, good on her. Fucking fuck Frank at this point.
Yeah.
This is where it dawned on me what was going to happen in this episode.
He finds out that Sheila gave away his only batch of beer to Debbie, and he is fucking pissed. And the lesbians say that if Sheila knows of anyone else who can't make rent or is about to go to jail or anything like that, tell them, because they want to buy more homes, which is, like, such a fucked up thing to say.
Yeah, no, the lesbophobia in this storyline, like, that the lesbians are the predators coming into the neighborhood and fucking it all up is, like, so, like, specifically, like, that thing that she just said to Sheila was so evil. She's like, do you know if anybody who can't make rent or anybody going to jail or anybody on food stamps? Send them our way.
I feel like they were like, we haven't picked on lesbians for a while. Maybe we should make them the group that we, like, villainize as, like, the white people coming in to, like, take over the neighborhood. It's like, why not just some white guy?
Yeah.
Why not just some rando white guy?
Like, yes, there is the instances of, like, gay people with disposable income because they don't have children coming into neighborhoods and gentrifying them. But, like, the lesbophobia in the storyline hurt so bad.
Yeah.
Ugh,
I feel like
sucked.
they did kind of, like, weirdly, not correct it, but a little bit later when Fiona gets into real estate because all of her biggest enemies are random white guys.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. Love that.
And all of her closest allies are gay people who are people of color. Yeah.
Gay people and, like, gay family members at that point. Sheila tells Frank that she's selling the house whether he likes it or not, and he pulls the medical card like, oh, I'm too weak right now, and he has to stay close to his doctors and his families, and that he was reborn in her house, and that she can't take that away from him.
When he died and got revived.
Yeah. And, like, he says, these few blocks, this neighborhood is the only thing I've ever had, and it's the only thing that's ever meant anything to me, which I believe.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
I 100% believe that. Homeboy doesn't know anything else. He has a panic attack when he crosses state lines.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, this town is the only thing that has ever meant anything to me.
I do agree. He lives for that, like, community.
Mm-hmm. And then Sheila says in, like, the softest, saddest voice, she says that she thought she was the only thing that meant everything to him.
Sorry.
He, like, tries to correct it too. He's like, you do.
He's like, yeah, besides you.
No, but it's like, no, Miss Girl, because you married him while he was in a coma.
We've always known Sheila loves him more than he loves her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the streets of somewhere, Lip comes across Mandy. Okay, the one thing about this show is that they always find each other on some random ass street. Like, I was looking all around town. How did you just get so lucky? On the street somewhere, Lip comes across Mandy and asks if Kenyatta is around anywhere, and she says no and invites him home with her. Back over to the jazz concert, Fiona watches Davis make out with his girlfriend, then turns her attention to Gus, who's playing the bass. I love how, like, the girlfriend's still just, like, macking out on him because she's.
Are they on stage at this point?
No,
Gus is on stage. It's
only Gus performing. Gus is playing like the cello bass, I think.
The upright bass. Yeah,
the upright bass, cello bass.
Cello, it's a bass.
Right. Because it's a jazz concert and Davis is a singer. Yeah.
And she's giving Gus she's like, ooh, maybe that kiss was actually quite nice. At the Gallagher house, Debbie is having a lame party, but Carl's having a great time giving girls head underneath the stairs. I love that because she's like, the only thing good about this is your brother. And she's like, so just like, this sucks. Like, she has like no emotion on her face at all. And then
they call him Carlingus.
Brilliant. show-stopping, snubbed at the Emmys.
I didn't know what cunnilingus was until that Ash Nico song came out, and I had to Google what that word meant.
I also can't believe they
True
didn't
facts.
name this episode Carl Lingus. What do you want to bet that was pitched as one of the episode
That would have been
titles?
so good.
Didn't pass the censors. They were like, we spent our budget, our censorship budget on you already.
Maddie shows up with a couple of his older friends, and Debbie gives him Frank's new beer that she saved especially for them. We go over to Lip and Mandy, who are in the middle of hooking up, of course, and Lip stops them and holds Mandy's face and tells her that she's gorgeous, funny, sweet, and smart, and he wants her to know that he means that she's a good person. This scene is, like, so
It's
hard.
beautiful.
It's hard to watch, but it's, like, so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch because I know they were broken up at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, it is hard to watch, but it's also, like, Jeremy Allen White's so fucking good, man. He's so fucking good.
Mhm. They kiss some more, and then she stops them and asks, what are they? And he says they're just two people who like each other's bodies and are good at sex. She asks about his girlfriend, and he says he doesn't know. They start to fuck. She says, I love you. He says nothing, and they keep fucking.
And she's
she
crying.
start crying.
She's
Yeah.
She starts
crying.
crying.
You can
Bro.
see, like, she was throwing out a lifeline with that. She said, I love you, and he needed to say it back.
And he didn't say it back, and he didn't say
Well,
it
and
back.
it's like, I do respect Liv for not saying it back, because he doesn't love
But
her.
also, like, ouch,
But
ouch,
it's also
ouch.
like, ow, like, nail in
Yeah.
the coffin, dude.
Yep, rough is right, Amanda. Suddenly Debbie's party is popping the fuck off because everyone is lit off of Frank's crazy firecracker beer, and she's dancing with Maddie, who is fucked up. Homeboy is like sloppy.
He's white girl
Yeah.
wasted.
Yeah.
He says that he needs to lay down, so she takes him up to her room, kicking out a couple people who are already hooking up. She's like, "This is my room. Get out." She lays him down on the bed and lays on his chest, and we see her eyeing a few condoms that the people left behind. Debbie, no! Debbie, don't do it! Debbie, no!
Debbie, run!
Are you know those
Yeah,
TikToks with Dylan? Dylan, no!
Dylan, no!
I love Dylan. I love her so much.
That
and
video
I
was
love her.
hilarious.
I saw like 7 different versions of it because I liked one
No,
of them.
a bunch
and
of
then they
people
kept them coming
like
up.
stitching it and being like,
Dylan,
Get out of
no! Into Sheila's basement, Frank is brewing up some beer while Chucky just sits there. Hey, Chucky.
Hey,
Chuckle."
girl, what you up to?
Chucky is a piece of furniture to be moved around.
He's just like sitting.
He was getting that contract.
Mhm.
Like they were paying his bills.
He's just sitting reading some comics on the stairs. Lip steps out of Mandy's room, her sitting curled up on the bed. He tells her that she doesn't need Kenyatta and asks if he can come by in the morning to get breakfast with her, which is like sweet. In Debbie's bed.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
He asks if he can come by in the morning to get breakfast with her. She says, yeah, sure. And then he leaves, and when we cut away from that scene, that is the last we see of Mandy.
Yep.
Except for like a random cameo she makes in a couple of seasons.
In season
That's a wrap on
6.
Emma Greenwell.
Oh, my
Yeah.
bad.
Like for season 5, for the as series regular, that's a wrap on Emma
Dude,
Greenwell.
the way that she was like sitting on the bed too, like so small.
So
and,
small.
Like,
I was about to
sad.
say, like, she looks like a child. Like, she looks like so
I
broken
mean, she
and
is a
defeated.
child.
Yeah,
She's only, like,
obviously she's
17.
17. But it's just like the show makes you forget that. Goddamn. Now over to the worst scene, one of the worst scenes in this entire series possible.
Yep.
In Debbie's bed, we see her lying next to Maddie, who's dead asleep. She's all smiley, and she looks over at the same condom wrapper that has now been opened and used.
And from now on, Debbie is the worst fucking person
Everybody
in
And then
this
there
show.
goes all of Debbie's credibility, all of Debbie's young girl boss power, like head of the household, gone.
Yeah. Nothing you do
G-O-N-E.
from now on can make up for what you just did. Like, ugh.
Speaking of bad decisions, Fiona's leaving the jazz bar club looking pissed, but she's still playing the act with Gus, obviously. Davis walks away, and she bitches about this being the second time this month that she's been blown off by a dude. He tries to comfort her, saying it's not her, that Davis is just an asshole.
This is so funny because it's like, but you have women who want you.
Yeah.
Yes.
She wants you.
You have a woman who will fuck you. She will fuck you.
They start to walk down the street, and she apologizes for grabbing him like that, but he didn't mind. He asked if she would like to grab coffee, but she has to get home. But how about tomorrow? They can go get a nightcap. It's not that late. They make plans and part ways. In the morning time, Debbie wakes up and gets out of bed, and then Maddie wakes up, remembers what happened, and we see the panic on his face. I think
she gets up and gets out of bed.
She like goes to the bathroom or something. She like leaves the room. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Maddie wakes up and you see it like dawn on him like, are you? What the fuck? And he gets out of there.
Wait. Is this the scene? No, I think this is the scene where she goes downstairs, grabs the orange. Is this the one?
I am a
later.
woman.
That's later.
Yeah,
it's in a couple minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's after Derek, right?
No. That's in this episode. It's just in a couple scenes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was earlier for some reason. But yeah, like he looks over and sees the condom, and no, because he lifts up the covers and he sees he's not wearing pants or something, and then looks over and sees the used condom next to him, and then he freaks the fuck out and runs out. Lip is waiting underneath the L for Mandy, but Ian comes up behind him in his stupid little shirt. Which
I think it was probably like it's like a striped shirt.
It was the blue and orange striped monstrosity
I think it's like a hand me down from Lip or something, so that's why it's like small on him.
American Eagle Aeropostale bullshit.
It's a baby tee.
But Ian comes up behind him in his stupid little shirt, saying that Mandy had left an hour ago. Lip said that he tried, and Ian just goes, "Sure you did."
Okay,
Damn.
he
not
did.
hard enough, Lip.
Not
hard
enough.
But I would not have wanted him to tell her that he loved her back.
No,
but I would
not.
want him to do anything else except just show up, tell her she's pretty, fuck her, and leave. Like, come on, Lip.
And then ask her for coffee.
Like,
in the
maybe
morning.
sit down and like actually talk to her.
Yeah.
Like, not fuck. But like, fucking is the only way they know how to communicate. All these kids.
Any of the characters, that's all they have. That's the way they communicate, is how they express themselves when they fucking fuck.
Well, and Mandy like bases her self-worth on that too.
Yeah. Cut to the lesbians getting their car towed, and they see that the street sign that was in front of across the street is now in front of their house. Slade. Because there you can see like where they filled the hole in from where they moved it from. So she's like, somebody's be scheming. Fiona goes to meet up with Gus at the spot around the corner from his place. I love how she remembered exactly where he lived.
Yeah, they made plans. He's like, there's a spot around the corner from my place. Number one, do you know where he lives? You've never been where he lives. How do you know where he lives?
He probably gave her like a cross street or something.
2, didn't exchange phone numbers, I don't think.
No. They just...
Maybe they texted.
So stupid.
Maybe they texted. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
He gave her a Google Maps link.
Homegirl, do they have iPhones at this point?
She has an iPhone
she
now.
does.
Jimmy Steve bought her that one in like season 1. She still has it.
The one that looks like an iPod Touch.
Yeah.
They walk up to the coffee shop, and it looks like it's been closed by the health department. So he
not a
invites
very
her...
good spot.
Yeah. He invites her up to his apartment for breakfast instead.
Yeah.
The lesbians, Lisa knocks on the Gallagher's door, introducing herself. Carl tells her that the house that they live in used to be a family with 3 kids and that the bank threw him out, and she does not give a shit. She asks if the Gallagher's car was towed, and he says they don't have one, so no. She lays out all the shit that he did to make the neighborhood look bad, and she says that they don't scare easily. She, like, gets up in her face. She's like, we don't scare easily. Like, you're not intimidating.
And this is
She's,
a
like,
child.
leaning down
Yeah,
at him
and he's a
'cause
child.
He's in a wheelchair.
He's in a wheelchair. She's literally threatening a child. Because, like, at this point, they haven't been actively seen doing anything, so this is her just assuming, even though they obviously did it. But still. Upstairs, Debbie comes into her room, still brushing her teeth, and finds that Maddie's gone. He left her a little sticky note on her mirror saying, "Text me, we need to talk." And she's not fazed. She just thinks that Maddie's just gonna text her about their fantastic night.
Let's be boyfriend girlfriend now.
Yep.
Yeah.
She goes downstairs, drinks some orange juice right out of the carton on the front step, and pouring it all down the front of her damn shirt, and screams, "I am a woman!" But also, she just brushed her teeth. Why is she drinking OJ now?
Yeah, right?
It's gonna taste gross, but like whatever.
Very bold of them to have her do that, and then have her go onto the steps and be like, I'm a woman. Like,
right?
Girlfriend. Like, the writers had the balls for this episode.
She was excited about it. She was like, yeah, I had sex.
Yeah, and what about it? But obviously, like, she doesn't really know the understandings of consent as of now, so she's assuming that she just had a great time with her little boy toy. But over into Gus's apartment, Fiona and him are eating gumbo for breakfast, and she learns about his family. Okay, gumbo in the morning honestly does hit pretty good. I love gumbo. She says that she really doesn't have time to listen to music, and that Gus says that he would die without music in his life. Load of bullshit. Homegirl listens to music all the time. She always be singing.
She listens to, like, radio.
Eminem.
Yeah, she doesn't have, like, a favorite band.
Yeah, she listens to, like, a lot of mainstream, like, rap and stuff.
She tells him to play her something worth dying over, and so he plays her a little song. Beacon Hill by Damien Jurado. Is that how you say it?
That's right. I SoundClouded it. Or I, spot, whatever. The fucking Soundhound. I Soundhounded it. Yeah.
And...
she's so turned on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God, she's so
like, oh, my
hot
God,
playing your little
you're a
acoustic
singer.
guitar.
So he's in the middle of playing, so she walks up to him, sets her gumbo down, pulls the guitar out of his lap, and sits there, and they start macking again. Good for them.
And she, like, pulls back from the kiss and goes, holy fuck, and keeps kissing him.
There's something about, like, I love facial hair.
He was fine as hell, too.
No, the thing is, I love facial hair, but that's just too much facial hair for me to, like, be macking on. Like, that just seems like it's too much.
Yeah.
I still follow him on Instagram because I think he's hot.
Slay.
I forget the actor's name, but I have followed him since I watched season 5, and I was like, damn.
He is very talented. He's a great singer.
He's actually a really good singer. He's, like, not popular at all. Like, he really doesn't have a following. He's been, like, a couple, like, I think he's been in, like, a one-man show here and there, but, like, doesn't really do much acting. But, cut over to Sammy and the Scrapyard Man on a date. She actually cleaned up, like, quite nice.
It's like a little dinner date.
Well, I think she thought it was a real date. Frank neglected to tell her that he was pimping her out.
Oh, yeah. Because she wants a nice, slow man to settle down with.
Yeah.
He wants to smash. He has a twinge in his... Oh, sorry. Then over to Lip, finally wearing gloves onto the job site. I hope someone gave some to him, so he didn't have to buy any. He has a twinge in his back and asks if they get paid for the holiday, and Tommy says, fuck no, you idiot.
What holiday is it?
July 4th.
Oh, okay. Timeline check.
Yeah.
He checks his phone, and there's a text from Amanda inviting him somewhere, and then he ignores it. Debbie goes over to meet Maddie at the park. What a great place to meet a child, at a park.
Yeah. He just wanted somewhere in public.
Yeah, honestly. And he asked Debbie if they had sex last night, and she says yes, and he's freaked the fuck out because he was plastered and does not remember it at all. And he said that his erection was biology, not consent, because Debbie's like, but your thing, and he was
no, she's literally like, but your thing, and it's like, Miss Girl, if you can't talk about it, you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah. And she's like, but your thing, and he's like, that's biology, not consent. And then he tells her that he was barely conscious and that she date raped him, and that
what she gets from that is, oh my God, we were on a date?
Yeah. She goes, we were on a date, and then...
like, Miss Girl, it's just a term.
Yep. And then she tells him that she didn't mean to rape him and that she's sorry. And then, I don't know if you want to go over this.
It's so many layers to this. It's because, number one, he's a grown man who should not have been hanging out with this girl to begin with. Number two, Debbie is so fucked up and absolutely committed date rape against him, and she is the person at fault in the situation. And number three, he now has to process the trauma of that having happened to him. But he also can't go to the police because he could go to jail over it because she is a teenager and he is a grown man.
Yep. Regardless of the scenario, it's bad for
it's
all
also,
parties.
Like, not to get, like, weird and, like, loopholey, but, like, is it a crime for him to be, like, hanging out with her?
It isn't, but I think...
It's not a crime for him to be hanging out with her, but he was clearly the wait till you're 16.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because I think, like, because you're so right, because, like, I feel like we touched on this, like, last season when we first was introduced, is, like, there's nothing wrong with, like, being friends with someone younger. Like, I remember being, like, early teenager and having, like, a friend, like, older peers in, like early 20s who were, like, just, like... people
especially
in my
if you
life,
have, like older siblings
people.
like Debbie does, it like kind of makes
You're
sense.
used to having older peers or like role models in a way. So like there's nothing wrong with that, and I think we like talked about that prior, but it's the fact that he actively still hung out with her knowing what she felt about him and what she has told him and what he had to stop her from doing previously when like he was like, no, like you're too young, we can't date. Like it's the layers of he still actively was in her life when he knew that she was seeking him out and then didn't put a stop to that. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
That's a wrap on Maddie, I think.
Yep. And then he finally tells her to never call him again, and hopefully that's the last we see of Maddie. And then up in the old rub and tug, V has plenty of women hooked up to their breast pumping machines and getting their milk for their little new business. Kev comes in and first complains that she's not at home and points out the hypocrisy of not letting Svetlana breastfeed the girls, but she's okay with selling these women's breast milk to other people. She tells him that just to let her do her job, and that she says that seeing her feed everyone else's babies.
He says,
and
she's like, why don't, he's like, what? She's like, can you just leave me the fuck alone? Because I'm just trying to do this. I'm just trying to do my job. And he's like, I'm pissed off because I see you feeding everybody else's babies except your fucking own.
Mm-hmm.
And like, Kev, reel it in, man.
Yeah.
That's also like, that's like not true. Like,
yeah,
she was pumping for you. Like, there is a limit.
But now she's doing dire crisis because you guys have no other source of income. So be happy she's thought of solution while you just didn't do anything about the rub and tug, if anything.
Yeah.
Also, who's pissed off? Debbie, the rapist. She comes home ranting about Maddie to Lip, and he tries very hard to keep his head from spinning off, making sure that she was not the victim of assault. And he like is like, whoa. Did Maddie do this to you? And she's like, no. But then she's just really upset that she raped Maddie, and he tells her there are a million guys who would kill to be raped by her. L moment for Lip.
He probably didn't get it. He was like, what?
Yeah, like, I see you conflating the Mandy situation and the Debbie thing in your head. I see your little gears turning, and I see you trying to be a good brother. But my man, put 2 more seconds. Yeah. Let those brain cells rub together before you start saying
stuff.
Over to an icon. Sheila pulls up to her house in a shiny RV that she's test driving with, like, the dealership guy. Frank tells her that since he was unconscious when they got married, he wants to renew their vows to make it real because he wants her to stay. He tries to make the proposal into trying to get her to stay, but she won't be swayed. She says that she's had the dream of seeing the world, and he says that they can take a vacation whenever they want, and then they can come home. The man is working overtime, and I have to give him credit. That is true. He is trying very, very hard.
Yeah.
Back to fucking Debbie, who is now pretending to smoke in the backyard. She's just holding an unlit cigarette in her hand.
No, it's lit. It's just burning.
It is lit?
Yeah.
She's just holding it.
It's just burning. She's not taking a drag off of it or anything.
Debbie tells Fiona that she wants to tell her something, but she doesn't want to be told how to feel about it. And she tells Fiona that she had sex, and all that Fiona asked was Debbie careful? And so they hold hands, and they don't really say much. Which is
Debbie
like,
left out a very important part of that.
Yeah, it's a very sweet summer moment, but there's not enough details for Fiona to be like, oh, I'm blah, 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 blah. Like, girlfriend, there's more to what actually happened.
Honestly, though, Fiona's track record, she would probably be like,
girl boss.
Yeah.
She would probably be like, but his thing.
But his thing. To Sammy's place, she brought over her date, the scrapyard guy, and he tries to make a move. They start to kiss, and then he starts to take off his belt, but she stops him and asks if they can take it slow instead. But then he's like, hey, but Frank promised you would bone me tonight, and oopsies. And then Sammy is not happy.
He's like, Frank promised that you would fuck me right now. And she, murder in her eyes.
Meanwhile, over at Sheila's in the basement, Frank has tripled the propane tanks to ramp up production, and Sheila comes down to tell him she's not buying the RV and that she's keeping the house. All of a sudden, Sammy comes downstairs, pissed about the sex deal, and she starts wailing on Frank.
This scene is so funny.
It's so chaotic. Sheila and Sammy chase Frank up the stairs, leaving the scrap guy scrapyard guy alone in the basement drinking the crazy beer that Frank made. Sammy, Sheila, and Frank all run outside to the street, screaming, fighting, and then Frank screams at them to both knock it the fuck off.
He says, "Can I not have one moment of peace? Christ, I have a raging lunatic succubus of a daughter on one hand and a lumpy, smothering, perverted little wife on the other, and you're both driving me fucking insane!" And in this scene, we get like a quintessential Frank, "Jesus Christ!"
Oh my god, the video. We need to there needs to be a federal investigation into how this was snubbed at the Emmys. Like, William H. Macy, the man that you are.
Like, he calls Sammy needy and slutty, and he calls Chucky a lump, and says Sammy, he says that Sammy has terrible personal hygiene.
That is
true. And then
true.
he turns to Sheila, and he calls her a certifiable whack job, and insults all the insane shit that she's done. And then we get, "Jesus Christ," when Sammy starts crying.
Oh, well, because she goes, "Daddy," and he turns around and goes, "Oh, Jesus Christ.
So good. And then he screams for like one more second, and then you get this really cool shot of like, it's just Frank with the house behind him, and then it just explodes and he flies forward.
It's so green screen, but that's fine.
Yeah. But like, whatever, like, who cares?
Yeah. He's like, "Can I get 1 minute of peace?"
And then the house
like,
explodes,
obviously not.
and they're all standing there, and then all of a sudden it's like, is it an arm or
leg.
a leg?
A
A
leg
leg
falls
of
out.
the date falls in front of them, and they all just are like,
Where is Chucky? In the RV?
He's in the RV. Yeah.
Okay.
Because she screams, she's like, "Chucky!" And you hear him go like, "Mom!" So
yeah.
he's fine. And then she goes, "Wait, where's my date?" And the leg falls down, and she had like complimented his socks earlier, so Frank goes like, "Those are nice socks."
Comedy.
And then the scene.
the RV pulls up and Sheila simply gets in. I love how the guy also has just been in the RV waiting the whole time, just like...
No, he pulls up right as the house explodes.
Oh, yeah.
And Sheila, like, shaken from this, like, verbal bitch slap she just got from Frank, hasn't, like, verbally responded, but she's gone blank, and she just gets in that van, and she pulls the fuck away.
And then we get a shot of her crying and smiling as she drives off into the night, and that's a wrap on Joan Cusack.
Oh, she was everything. She was amazing.
God.
She won an Emmy. She won an Emmy for this season for Best
Good for
Supporting
her.
She sure
Actress.
did. She was in 3 episodes. She won a motherfucking Emmy.
As she fucking should have.
Like, that is her slay.
The credit song is "Gotta Get Away" by the Black Keys.
Very good song,
fitting
very
to
good
the Sheila
album.
situation.
After the credit scene of the lesbians looking at the rubble, saying, "At least we don't have to pay for the demo," which is like so funny, but damn.
Yeah.
But damn.
They like high five each other.
Yeah, they high five it, and then cuts to black. Next week on Shameless, Fiona and Gus are getting closer. Frank has a hangover style night that he can't remember celebrating after an insurance payout. Lip is visiting Amanda in Miami. V rubs up on a man in the nightclub because she and Kev haven't been connecting as well, and she needs to get laid. Mama needs to get laid.
This next episode is so fun.
I love next
Yeah.
episode.
I'm
It's
excited
so
for it.
fun.
The Frank hangover thing is, oh my god, that's when Mickey... it's gonna have the suitcases and Mickey wearing the Hawaiian shirt, because Frank
Yes.
says, "I lost a fortune," and Mickey in the Hawaiian shirt turns around and goes like, "Oh, misplaced a 20, did you?" Like...
Wayman from Workaholics is also in this episode. That bitch is everywhere.
We get Frank's lawyer too. I always fucking forget her name.
Alex
Alex
Borstein.
Borstein.
Alex Borstein.
Yeah. But what did we think of the episode that saw the end of Maddie, not important, of Emma Greenwell as Mandy, and the end of Joan Cusack
Damn,
as
that's
Sheila?
so
Lame.
early in the season to like knock off 3 characters.
They do change vibes like very quickly in the season though. Episode 5, it's a complete switch up.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, well, when Jimmy Steve steps back, like this is not a spoiler because he showed up at the end of season 4, but like when Jimmy Steve comes back in, it's a fucking curveball.
It's a switch up of the whole
Definitely.
vibe for the rest of the season. And then the seasons switch as well.
Yeah. So what did we think of this episode?
It was very good. It was so
It was
good.
really good. I I think beginning of season 5 or like mostly like season 4 and season 5 are like the seasons I have rewatched the most. So like a lot of these season 5 episodes are like the most prominent, like fun ones I remember, because I feel like so many of these episodes are just so fun. Like season 5 really has a lot of bangers in it, and like it's not too sad. It's like it's a really good mix of a comedy and a drama this season, I would say. So like this episode in particular just gears you up for like a lot more, and especially with the shift change, it's like a good shift change at the same time.
I think it is wild to me. I've only watched this season once, and yet
God.
506 remains like my favorite episode of the show of all time. I've seen it one time, and it's my like I've rewatched
hurts.
Emily over and over, but like 506.
Ouchie.
It hurts. I'm excited for you to watch it again.
Yeah.
And then after that, you have not watched any of season 6?
Only
I saw
Mickey's episode.
the one
Mickey's
scene
episode.
of Mickey's and the in season 6, and then I've seen the Mickey scenes in season 7.
Gotcha.
And then
Season 6 is actually
9.
pretty good.
Season
Season
9 is
6
the
and
very
7
last
is
episode
very
is
good.
Mickey. Or like no, that's the 10th episode. Like 8th
Yeah.
or not. It's like the 8th or 10th episode.
No, it's
where-
like the 6th episode.
Oh,
He leaves like
oh.
halfway through the season.
It is in the middle of the season because then they asked him to come back after Emmy told them that they would be that.
Yeah, no, because
she would be
I
leaving.
forgot about that part because I forget we see him at the end when Fiona goes to visit him.
Yeah, the timing on that was so goddamn weird. I remember it happening in real time. Like
Yeah.
he announced that he was leaving, and then Emmy's episode aired, and it was announced that she was leaving, and then he announced that he was coming back.
Yeah.
Mhm. It was so fast. Like it was like days apart.
I will always respect,
Yeah.
like, I love that he said in interviews, he's like, I told them I will come. He's like, number 1, I'm leaving. Number 2, I'm leaving on my terms. Number 3, bring back Mickey so that Ian and Mickey end up together in the way that I'm leaving.
Mhm.
And then when they asked him to come back, he's like, cool, give Noel a series regular spot. Like, bring him back.
And they said cha-ching.
Right? He was like, give us shit to do, like give us a storyline, and then they didn't. But like, you know,
Yeah.
They did
He's
what
like,
they could.
I am so aware that my character is the most interesting when he is standing next to me. Bring him back.
yeah,
Like, you're a real one for that, Cam. Thank you so much.
yeah. Well,
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited
I'm
for
so
what's
excited.
to come.
I'm so sad that Sheila's gone now. I'm so sad that Mandy's gone now. I am not sad that Maddie is gone. But this was the at least Sheila had a literal explosive big bang farewell. Mandy just kind of fades off into the distance.
I
Right,
think-
which is why it's fitting that she does make another cameo later, like a
Mhm.
whole episode.
It's just that
long
one
thing.
episode that she shows back up. Right?
Yeah. And then they don't ever like mention her again either, which is like
Mm-mm,
fucked up.
not at
'cause they
all.
presumably,
Create Sandy.
presumably she is living in Chicago, so it's like weird that they never see her.
Don't they name drop her in like season 10 or 11?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because it's when they're talking about everyone fucking Milkoviches and like they mentioned her name.
Yeah, they invented Sandy.
Sandy and Mandy. I can't believe they fucking did that.
Well, it was just it like I get it, like they couldn't get Emma Greenwell to come back, but like writing her off, but then having her come back for this cameo, and Mandy supposedly lives in Chicago, and then she doesn't come to the wedding.
Yeah.
Like, my thing with
Like,
it
what
was
is that?
like, even if Emma Greenwell didn't want to play Mandy anymore, cool. Luckily, another human being has played Mandy. Pull a Becky on Roseanne and just bring back the other one. I don't care. There were 2 of them. Bring back the other one.
Yeah, or just like mention her. Be like, shit, Mandy's in the bathroom like fucking some guy, you know?
Yeah.
Like at the wedding or something, and it's like, you know, like she's being, or like Mickey being like, Mandy's being a total fucking bitch, like, you know?
Put her in the fucking cutscene instead of put her in the cutscene like arriving late instead of having Terry shoot up their like honeymoon suite.
Or no, just straight up like mention her. That way you don't even have to get Emma Greenwell back. Just be like that bitch Mandy is like late.
It would have been fun if like Sandy was like, yeah, Mandy's gonna be late. She'll be here for the after party or something like that, just to like a
Yeah.
nod off and like don't
And-
even have to show her or the after party.
an acknowledgement. Yeah.
I think it would have been funny if they just brought in the original Mandy. That would have been funny to me personally.
Yeah, Jane Levy. Well, and she was so good.
Yeah.
Um,
Would have been funny for them to be like, Mandy, did you something different with your hair? You look different. Like,
She was busy though. She was like,
did you
I have a
get
career.
shorter?
yeah, did you? I swear to God, are you blonde now? What's
They
going
should
on?
make.
Like,
They would make a joke about what's the show she's in.
Zoe's Extraordinary
Playlist.
Yeah, they should make they could make a joke about like Zoe's or something like that. Do you want to wrap it up? I'm about to piss myself.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you all so much for joining us. I don't know how much of the rambling I'll cut. Probably none of it.
God knows how much. It's been a while since we've like talked, so they deserve a little bit of a treat.
Yeah. But not
Amanda's editing. She's gonna.
We're back to posting truly whenever we want to. So this will come out eventually. And we're going to keep going. We're not giving up. I swear to God, I will not be the podcast that doesn't finish recapping the series.
No, we're going to, as long as it fucking takes, like, we're going to keep doing it.
All right, and follow us on socials, luckwehadpod on Instagram, luckwehadpod on Twitter. Email us, luckwehadpod@gmail.com. Donate to our Ko-Fi, which is linked in our bios. Buy our t-shirts, which is linked in our bios. Get our stickers. DM us on Instagram or Twitter to get a sticker from us. Follow me at abnormalamanda on Twitter, at abnormalamanda18 on Instagram, at abnormalamanda_18 on TikTok. I'm so close to 33,000 followers, guys. I'm so close.
Follow her.
Where shall they follow y'all?
Me? Okay. You can find me on Twitter at Durs Holmvik, like the character from Workaholics, except the L is an I. You can find me on Instagram at Kojak, COJACKK. Evan, where can they find you?
You can find me at IamOK4000 on Instagram, and you can find me at Unevent on TikTok, or you can find me at InternetLifeO on Twitter. And again, all of our Luck We Had Pod socials are going to be in the description, on our Instagram, on our website. You know where to find us.
Rate, review, subscribe. Keep coming back, because we sure will.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we will.
And thank you for listening. Until we see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.